Hello and welcome to End Step. Maria, Simon, and Rich here at the news desk with you. What an amazing final. Simon, you were in the booth. Just some incredible games and a mastery of a deck by Autumn Burchett.
Absolutely, and that patience to not cast Curious Obsession on turn 2 when you have the dive down to protect your creature, that was just some next level play. It is maybe the best deck in Standard, but you have to pilot it at that kind of level if you want to be a Mythic Championship winner.
So Simon, right there, I have not played this deck a lot in Standard, and right there, Game 5, the whole point, arguably the whole point of playing a deck like this is so you can go, as we set up before the final, one drop into Curious Obsession with backup. You have exactly that. And I've got what looks like a penalty shootout on my notes here. It's like, turn 2, Curious Obsession, turn 3, Curious Obsession, turn 4. Yeah.
Patience.
Now I feel is the correct time for Curious Obsession.
And also making it so difficult for the control player, right? Waiting till turn 4, your Obsession, and you sit there with Spell Pierce or Dive Down, Essence Capture, and Negate. So you know there is no answer, no single answer, not even two answers that will threaten my creature. And then just keeping that kind of dynamic going where you're saying, oh, you're playing this creature, I'm going to Essence Capture that, increase my clock a little bit. I have Disdainful Stroke for your Wrath or for your Teferi. And like almost playing this kind of puzzle, right? Where you're allocating your resources to the threats or to the answers that you haven't even seen yet. And Burchett maneuvered around that beautifully.
Also, we talked before the final about this idea of where is the point where you're really hurting the opponent. And that might be 4 power of creatures with an aggro deck. You think, I don't want to get my board wiped beyond 4. 4 will do as the clock. But the clock here, Maria, it was 1.
Yeah.
Just 1. It was functionally a blank 1/1 creature, and that was considered enough for turn after turn.
And that's why it's not an aggro deck. You so beautifully
tempo.
It's in tempo.
And tempo can mean incredibly fast and pretty fast, and sometimes it can be slow and steady wins the race.
All right, well, BDM is standing by for our winner interview.
Thanks so much, Maria. Autumn Burchett, you are a Mythic champion. Congratulations. You did it. It's historic. It's wonderful. Tell me about those last 2 games of Magic.
They were like being behind a game, especially post-board. The matchup, I think I'm like a pretty reasonable underdog post-board. There was also like a lot of challenge from the perspective of, so in between every game, me and my opponent was shuffling in a whole boards. I wasn't planning on doing it until he did it, and then I was like, well, I'm committed, I guess. I guess we're doing this song and dance. And like obviously the song and dance is, do I keep in essence captures for his creatures? Also, I'm going to take this hat off a sec, but big thank you to Aaron for the lucky hat. I love you so much. I appreciate you. And and the song of dance of like, do I keep in essence capture for the creatures? And does he keep in the creatures, knowing that I might keep in my essence captures? And I just came to the decision that I think his deck is so much better against mine if he has the creatures in. And I think the world in which I have essence captures in my deck and he doesn't have creatures, I can still win those games. The world in which I don't have essence captures in my deck and he does have creatures, I think I'm such a huge underdog because the creatures cause me so many issues like Lyra, Hostage Taker, Thief. And I'm really happy I managed to like work through all of that in my head and figure out I just have to keep these in, and I think he just has to keep the creatures in.
There was a lot of collective breath held in that turn in Game 4 where Lyra comes down, and it's maybe trying to bait out that essence capture. Can you walk us through your decision on that turn?
So the whole game, especially the last couple turns, I've been scared of Thief of Sanity. That card is really problematic for me. It both blocks my creatures very well, but also once it starts attacking, it draws so much counter magic that I can never win counter wars. Draws creatures that just straight up trade with my creatures. It's a big problem. I came to the decision, if he's just running out the Lyra, it's to enable like either a Teferi or a Thief, and just something was telling me like respect, thief of sanity, like just something in my head.
The alarm bells were going off.
Yeah.
Now, amazing job. You're a Mythic champion. We talked yesterday about being the first non-binary trans player to get into the top 8. Are you aware of what an impact this has been having on people all over the world, Magic players and non-Magic players alike, to see you succeeding on this stage? Can you talk to that responsibility and this achievement?
So when I started playing, it was fairly soon after Melissa DeTora had her top 8. And seeing her, like knowing that she top 8'd a Pro Tour, like that someone outside the norm of like cis-het white guys had managed to achieve such a big thing in Magic, where like it's so predominantly, I don't know, that was a big inspiration. And then a couple years ago, Huey came out as gay, and the fact that one of the very top players didn't quite fit into that mold made things feel like safer and better for everyone. And if this even has like a tenth of the impact of like both of those occurrences had on me, I don't. I just lose my words thinking about it.
Wow. I can tell you, just based on the reaction on social media and in chat, it's been tremendous. And this is the last interview I'm going to get to do covering one of these events, and I couldn't be prouder and happier to be doing it with you. Congratulations, you're a Mythic champion, and you're a hero to people all over the world here. Congratulations. Is there anybody you want to say anything in particular to at home? Is there anyone that you want to directly address on camera?
A lot of people. I want to thank Aaron and Emma for both being here with me for this weekend, especially Emma sticking around to the very end. I love them both a ton, and it means a lot that they were here to support me. I don't know. I am very thankful for so many things and so many people in my life. And I feel so lucky to still be here. And so lucky to be here specifically. And I hope that this is another step towards something really good.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Your Mythic champion here in Cleveland, Autumn Burchett.
Little memo to the Magic Pro League. Autumn's coming for your $1 million next month. Just thought I'd let you know.
That's true. All right, in End Step, now it is time to name our card of the day. And for this, we turn to Simon. Essence Capture.
It is Essence Capture. It feels a bit foolish to talk about Magic cards, counter Magic in the main deck, in the sideboard. Autumn summarized it very well. It was not the power level of this card, but it was the mental game that both of these players were playing. We actually saw Essence Capture be kind of weak in Game 3, and there is an argument to be made to just take those out and maybe say, those creatures are probably in Ikawa's sideboard, right? But no, Lyra, Hostage Taker, and that Thief of Sanity, they are too scary, too disruptive to the mono-blue game plan that you have to keep those cards in. And then we actually saw beautifully how having exactly the right answer at exactly the right time, with the right timing, the right priorities. And I think that's actually a lesson that we can take from Magic and apply to life in general, to see where things are going and to have that plan even in the face of tough opposition. And I have to say, Ikawa, I think he sideboarded beautifully. He knew exactly what he was doing, but he just ran his answers into that counter magic over and over again. Graceful in defeat, but a great job by him as well.
All right, well, it is time to pick our match of the day, and for that we turn to Tim and Riley.
Well, going into today, we knew there were going to be a bunch of great matchups, and honestly, Riley, I was expecting the match between Marcio Carvalho and Luis Scott Vargas to be our match of the day. Two absolute titans of the game. They did not disappoint, but as it turns out, we got even better on our plates as we got further through. For everything that we saw from Luis and Marcio, which was a standout match, definitely worth a look, for me, the match of the day actually came a little later, and that was an intensely skillful match between Autumn Burchett and Reed Duke.
Exactly right, Tim. Look, we had an incredibly stacked top 8 today here at the Mythic Championship in Cleveland, and Reed Duke, one of the all-time greats, almost, I'd say, locked up for a Hall of Fame ballot at some point based on the career, that he's had so far. But that came to an abrupt end at the hands of Autumn Burchett. We've seen this player on the European GP circuit absolutely crushing it, and now on the biggest stage, of course, a champion, and congratulations there. But the way to the final, overcoming a player like Reed Duke in one of the most skill-intensive matchups I've seen. Mono Blue Tempo is an incredibly difficult deck to play at the best of times, and when you're sitting down against the best in the world, the difficulty, it goes to nightmare mode. And honestly, there was so much in that game to pick apart, in that match to pick apart, so much to learn about resource management, timing, depth, all these different things that are embodied in mastery of this game. And I really think it is must-see magic, Reed Duke and Autumn Burchett in the semi-finals. Oh, sorry, in the quarterfinals of the semi-finals this event? Semi-finals this event this weekend, Tim.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic stuff. I mean, it says something about Reed that he actually went into it saying, you know what, as good as I feel like I am with this deck, he was a little concerned that Autumn might have been better because this is a deck that they've been playing for a long while, and actually he modeled some of his list off that particular one. And ultimately, yeah, if you're looking to learn how to play what appears to be the best deck at this Mythic Championship, that is your beginning, your middle, and your ending, our match of the day.
Thanks so much, Tim and Riley. I've got to say, you guys, I feel so privileged to be up here at the news desk for this historic win for Autumn Burchett. Well, Paul was in the booth for that finals match. Let's get his reaction.
One of the players felt that they had an advantage. And you know what? We need to give credit to Ikawa because I also feel like he played that game fantastically. There were situations where he was trying to bait out counter magic. I mean, especially the turn where Burchett had both the Essence Capture in hand with the Disdainful Stroke, and he went with the Lyra Dawnbringer to try to get the Disdainful Stroke, the Essence Capture out of Burchett's hands so that he could resolve the Thief of Sanity. And Burchett actually was able to sniff it out. So both players just playing premium level Magic. And at the end of the day, Burchett was able to take it down. And I am huge fan of what Autumn was able to accomplish, just both in terms of what she was able to do during the matches and also just what this means just for Magic as a whole. I must say I was struggling to keep it together before the cameras were fixated on me. But big congratulations to Autumn Burchett for being this Mythic champion.
So I must say, I don't often, other than for pure entertainment purposes, go back and watch finals. Right? I do that a fair amount and just enjoy wallowing it as a sort of brain-neutral fan. I want to go and watch basically the whole day for Autumn because it feels like one of the cleanest examples of what I might call choose your own adventure magic that there is. There are so many clear points where there aren't 5 or 6 paths you can choose. It's I can do this or I can do this. They both seem very, very reasonable or even outright good, both choices. And Autumn always makes the right one. Behind door number 2, yes, you get to go a little bit further into the maze. Great, well done. You get to advance to game number 4. To game number 5, you get to sideboard correctly. You get to the semis. And on and on and on it went. And to me, just the idea of when you get to that, the end boss, it's Yoshihiko Ikawa sitting there in the way of $50,000. And you go, Curious Obsession turn 2, that's not the right door. Turn 3, that's not the right door. Turn 4 is the right door, and I have my counter magic equipped, thank you.
Yeah.
it's just beautiful, and I'm sure that there are so many, I believe learnings is the word these days, for what we can get out of that. Just wonderful.
All right, BDM is standing by to give us an update on our team of the weekend as we follow the team series.
Thanks, Maria. My team of the weekend is Team Ultimate Guard. I couldn't be more excited for talking about a team than a team with John Finkel, that team that goes all the way back to my earliest days of Magic. And this is a team that just put up tremendous results. We talked about them starting out the tournament 16-2 in limited on day one, and they put up great results the whole weekend. Every single member of the team got at least 6 pro points, which is kind of crazy in this team series. It's the first time someone's wasted a finish with a top 5 pro finishes count. And of course, led by Reed Duke. It was Reed Duke into the semifinals, a historic event for him, getting past the quarterfinals in his 4th top 8 here. So great job by Team Ultimate Guard Pro Team.
Thanks so much, BDM. Autumn Burchett is your Mythic Championship Cleveland champion. And now it's time for the awards ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the feature match area here in Cleveland for Mythic Championship 1. That was a super intense finals, and we finally have our winner. Your winner for Mythic Championship 1, Autumn Burchett. Congratulations. I have something for you. Autumn, a huge moment for you, and I have to say you were so supported throughout the course of the weekend. Why don't we bring out some of your friends and supporters to help you celebrate? Ladies and gentlemen, your winner for Mythic Championship 1, Autumn Burchett.
And so we come to the end of our first Mythic Championship of 2019. 499 players came in. Only one could win the title. And to do that, Autumn Burchett navigated their way through Julien Berthaud of France in the quarterfinals, the might of Reed Duke in the semifinals, and then Japan's finest this time around, Yoshihiko Ikawa, in the final. Magic is mostly a game about individuals, and larger themes can be left for another day, because right now what matters to Autumn Burchett is that Autumn Burchett is your Mythic champion. But there are wider themes, there are bigger things that matter. And as we head on through Magic's new journey, the new era of the MPL, the Mythic Invitational next month, and all the great Magic that's still left to be played in this fledgling Year of Our Lord 2019, Autumn Burchett may have changed the face of professional Magic and professional gaming, perhaps forever. And that is no small achievement on the turn of a card. For everyone here on the coverage team from Wizards of the Coast, I am your host, Rich Hagan, saying until next time, bye.